Good evening, everyone. My name is Ankit Kumar. I have more than 10 years of industry experience. Let's start today's session on RPA, Robotic Process Automation. We'll understand what is Robotic Process Automation. So today's agenda is to understand what is RPA and different tools of RPA. And as we know, like we are going through the UiPath in this webinar, so we'll understand how the UiPath looks like where we can develop the code and how to install UiPath Studio. So we'll do one of the hands-on project in UiPath, and I'll show you how UiPath will help us automating your business process. Perfect. So now what is RPA? So we'll divide RPA into three different words, right? So we know RPA, robotic process automation. So in simple word, whatever manual work that we do in an industry, that is software industry, right? So that can be taken care by a robot. In the very layman words, this is what it is. Whatever the work that we do in an IT industry as a manual task, so that can be automated using your robotic process automation. So can we automate all the work that we do in IT industry as an automation? I would say no. Not all the processes can be automated. So we have a set of guidelines for which process to be automated. Right. So you can see from this picture, a person is sitting and working on a system which is manual work, and on the right hand side you can see the machine is doing the work all by itself. So this is in simple RPA is, right? So now we divide into the three different words, that is robotic process automation. So what is robotic? So who is the robot? Right. The entity which mimics human action is called robot. So entity is referred here as a software, right? So as we are automating the things in a software industry, so a robot is a software. So why do we call it as a software? Because so we are automating the processes that we have in the IT industry. So IT refers to information technology, and it is a software industry, right? It is a software industry, and we do need a software to carry on our work. Even if you are working in any platform, if you are working as a front-end developer, if you are working as a back-end developer or application engineer, wherever you work, or as a database administrator, what are these? So these are the softwares, right? So we generally work on software, right? And we require a software to automate these processes that we do in an IT industry. And your robot is a software entity. It's a software entity which mimics human action. Mimics human action. It just copies and executes whatever human does. So that is what mimicking is referred to. It will copy whatever we do as a human thing, and it will do by itself. So that is mimicking the human actions. So that is called a robot. And what is a process in general? So process is a sequence of steps, right? So a process is a sequence of steps. So wherever you are working in, if you are working in a project, right? So we generally work in a project when we are into IT industry, right? So every one of us will be assigned to one or the other projects. And in project, what we do some work, right? So that work is, right? So the work that we do will have a certain steps, right? The sequential steps that we follow on daily basis, right? That we follow on daily basis. So which will lead to a meaningful activity. At the end of the day, we'll complete that activity and we'll log off, right? From the morning till the evening, we'll follow a series of steps to accomplish the work that is assigned to us for that particular day. So we might repeat that work many times a day, or we can do, if the process is very lengthy, so we'll end up doing a one transaction per day, right? So but the work that we do contains a sequence of steps, right, which leads to a meaningful activity. So that we call it as a process. So that one we call it as a process. And automating that process, so generally before RPA, so this complete process was done manually, right? So now after introduction of RPA, the process which we are talking about, the sequence of steps, automating that without human intervention, right? So previously it was done by humans, now we are doing that without humans. If without humans, who is doing that? The very first word we have talked about, right? The robot, who has the capability of mimicking human actions. So that robot will do automation for you. So that robot will do an automation for you. So putting all together, right? Putting all together, robotic process automation, mimicking human actions, right? So mimicking human actions to perform an activity, a meaningful activity without humans is called as robotic process automation. So in simple word, as I said previously, right? So previously, as I said, in the very layman words, whatever human does manually, so that is being performed by a software entity which is so called as robot is called robotic process automation. So this is in very layman words, right? So let's move on. So what are the different RPA tools we have in the market? So we have many tools in RPA, right? So these are the things. So starting with UiPath. So UiPath is a market leader. Okay, so I'll show you with a proof, not just the words. So we have a proof in our next slide. So UiPath is a market leader in RPA, followed by Automation Anywhere. Right, so Automation Anywhere is a toughest competitor for UiPath, and the vice versa. Apart from that, we have BluePrism, and these are the well-known tools that we have in the market. So Automation Anywhere, UiPath, and BluePrism. So apart from those, so these are the other tools like WorkVision, WorkFusion, Under Monday, Kofax, etc. So these are the RPA tools that we have in the market. And why do we call, and yeah, so this is the next slide. The top RPA tool among all the tools that we have looked into our previous slide are these. As I said, Automation Anywhere, UiPath, and BluePrism, right? Right. So when we talk about UiPath, I said it is a market leader, right? So I'm not just saying that in words. So this is what it is. So a real proof. You can see that on the website. Okay, that is Forrester Wave, which gives us the analytics of the tool, how it is performing in the market. And they says, you see the quadrant is divided into different categories. That is leaders. So on the top right, you can see who are the leaders in RPA, right? So this is the leaders quadrant, right? And the strong performers, contenders, and challengers. Okay, and this particular analysis says under leader quadrant, you have UiPath, Automation Anywhere, BluePrism, and Edureka. And when you compare all these things together, your UiPath is master on that, because you don't believe. So when you explore more, when you learn about UiPath, you will understand how aggressively your UiPath is, joining hands with machine learning, AI to introduce their features in UiPath. All right. So this is about UiPath, and we have one more slide which says how fastly UiPath is growing into the market, right? So this is how the demand that we have for UiPath. Okay, UiPath ranks #1 fastest growing company in North America. So this is on Deloitte. Okay, so this is the analysis given by Deloitte. Okay, so let's learn about UiPath. And before to that, so UiPath is used by these big giants. So it is used by NASA to automate their business process. Along with NASA, Airbus, Autodesk, DHL, HP, Fujifilm, the big market leaders, okay, are using UiPath to automate their business process. How to install? Okay, so let me show you how to install. Okay, so we have very few easy installable steps. Okay, first of all, you have to register. Okay, register with UiPath and fill in your details there, and it will take you to the page where you can download your UiPath. And before to that, you have some prerequisites to install UiPath onto your system, right? So you should have 8 GB of RAM installed on your machine, and you have Windows 7 or higher versions. Okay, and if at all you want to run UiPath apart from English language, okay, so we do have many languages that can work with UiPath. So if at all you want to use that apart from English language, you have to install .NET Framework language package. Okay, and the web browsers to do an automation, the supported browsers are Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, right? So these are the prerequisites that we have before installing UiPath. Okay, so how to install? Let me walk you through. You have to go to the official website. That is, so you can just use cloud.uipath.com. cloud.uipath.com. So you have something called cloud.uipath.com. You have to go there and you have to sign up. Okay, so as I have already signed up, let me just sign out. So when you navigate to this cloud.uipath.com, so you will end up getting the sign up page, right? So as I've already signed in, so you will get a sign up option where you have to fill in all your required details, like your name, right, and your designation, your company name. So if at all you are a learner, you are not from any company background, right, you can just give any of the name. Okay, and the very important thing is you have to give your email ID. So to your email ID, so information will be sent, and then or else you can continue with your Google account as well. So when you sign in to your account, so you will be landed on the home page, and in the home page you will see an icon to download UiPath. So let me just navigate. All right, so here is the page. Once you sign up, right, so once you sign up, give all your details, so you will end up on this page. And at the home page, so on the left top, I'm just hovering on the home page. So on the home page you will see something called download UiPath Studio. So when you click on it, an executable file will get downloaded. So it will be around 300 MB of file. So once you download it, right, so once you download it, you just have to double click and start the installation. You just have to start the installation, and when you just move on with the installation, so you don't have any steps, any complicated steps to install UiPath. Just you have to double click on it and it will install. Finally you have to activate your account. Okay, so you have to activate your account. So a page will be shown, a pop-up page will come where it will ask for a URL, and it will be defaulted to cloud.uipath.com. Okay, just keep as it is, do not change it. Okay, whatever it comes on the screen, just keep as it is and click continue or activate. Okay, click continue or activate. So it will activate your account. Once the activation is completed, okay, once the activation is completed, and your UiPath will show you this particular screen. So this is where you will land after activation. So how to install? So installation, you have to go to cloud.uipath.com. Okay, the official website. Okay, so go to the official website, fill in your details. Okay, so you need not to open your email. So this process has been changed with the latest community edition. You don't need to open your email and all, just fill in your details. So once you fill in your details, you will be landed to the home page. Okay, so let me just go and show you once again. So this is the home page. So from where you can just click on the download UiPath Studio, and a 300 MB file will get downloaded onto your screen, onto your system. Double click on that, and finally you have to activate. Keep the parameters as it is, do not change anything, and just click on activate, which will activate your account. So once it is activated, you will fall on this particular page. So you will be end up landing on this particular page, right? So this is your UiPath UI, user interface. So this is the user interface by using which you can automate your business processes. So this is completely a window based application. UiPath Studio, we call it as a studio. A studio is the place where we will generally do the automation. So we do have different components in UiPath. So we are not talking much about those components now, but we'll talk about the studio component, which is used to automate your business process. All right, so now I'll just go and click on the process. I'll show you one small demo on how UiPath automation works. So, and to create a new project, I'll just click on this process. So when you click on this process, it will ask you for some information. Okay, now you are creating a blank process. What is the name of the process? Okay, I'll just say UiPath webinar. I'll just say UiPath webinar, and this is the location where your projects are being stored. So this location I have just changed. Okay, I have changed this location I've changed some parameters. So the default location where your UiPath projects will be stored is under documents. You will have a UiPath, and this is the place where your projects will be stored. So by default, it will be documents and UiPath. And the location that you are seeing here, I have just changed it. If at all you want to change the location, you can just click on this folder option here and change the location. Okay, and you can give the description as a webinar project. And just give the description, and you can use any of the languages, that is VB or C sharp. There will be some scenarios where you have to write a small code snippets. Okay, you have to write a small code snippets in your automation. So in which language that has to be written, so that is what it is. So if you are familiar with VB, you can use VB, or C sharp, you can use any of those languages. So I'll just click on create, which will open an editor or IDE where you can create your own projects. All right, so here we are. So this is the place where you can do the automation. So let me walk you through what are all these. So your IDE, your user interface, is divided into the home, the one you see here, the home, design, and debug. Home, just we have looked into what is the home. So this is the home. When you click on home, it will redirect to the page that we have just seen. So then we have something called design, and under design you have a ribbon. So this is the complete ribbon. This the new is used to create a new workflow, save your project, export as template. So I've shown you one of the template, right? Robotic enterprise framework template. So if at all you want to create your own template, you can export it as a template. If at all you want to run your project, you can use this run option here, right? And if at all you want to copy, paste, cut, you can do it from here. Manage packages, if at all you want to download any packages that are supported by UiPath, you can do that from here, right? And we do have different recorders. So recorders also can be used in UiPath to record your automation. You can use this recorders. We have multiple recorders here. So screen scraping and data scraping is used for UI automation. Okay, and then we have something called publish. Using this option, you can publish your code in a repository. So this is the ribbon, this is the design ribbon that you have, and then we have a debug ribbon. These options are used for debugging purpose, right? You have developed your code and you want to run your code in the debug mode and see what is happening inside your code, and you want to analyze in case if you have any errors, you want to analyze your code. So this debug tab is used for that, right? So these are the options that you have on the top right, the very first option, home, design, and debug. And the very important part is the project. So on the left, you have something called project here. So when you click on this project, so this is what we have created, right? UiPath webinar. So this is the UiPath webinar project that we have created, and these are the default dependencies that will get downloaded when you create a new project. That is Excel, Mail, System, and UI automation. So these are the default dependencies because these applications are widely used in any of the project, that is Mail, Excel, System, and UiPath automation. Sorry, UI automations. So these are the one which got downloaded. And you will have a main.xaml, and always remember the workflow, the automation that you create using UiPath, the extension will be .xaml. We call it as XAML. Okay, .xaml will be the extension, and your execution will start from the main file, main.xaml. So this is where you start your execution, right? So let me double click on it. So I've just double clicked on it. So this is the space where your automation can go. So I am into the main. You can just see here. So I am inside the main file. So this is your main file, and you see here drop activity here. So what is an activity? So activity are the building blocks of your automation. So we can use wide ranges of activities that are available in UiPath to design your automation. Okay, so when you come down a bit, so available. So you can see here, I'll just collapse these all. Under available, you have app integration. When you just expand it, you can automate CSV, you can automate Excel, you can automate mail, right? And when I just expand this system, okay, you can work with different applications. So if at all you want to work with files and folders, you can go here and choose the activity. Just for your simple understanding, you can see like you can create a file using this, create a folder using this. right? So this is the activity. This is the activity. So when I just drag and drop this create folder here, so generally what do we do to create a folder? We have to give the folder name with the path, right? So that is what we can give here. Just give the path of the folder, right? Path of the folder, and it will create a folder for you. That's how simple it is. So activities are the building blocks of your automation. You can drag and drop those activities to build your automation, right? So we have many activities. Okay, so we have many different categories of activities here, and you have your UI automation. So UI, so UI is like browser. Okay, you can do a window automation, you can do a browser automation. Generally what we'll do, if at all you want to open a browser, what you'll do, you will open a Chrome or IE, and you will give a URL, right? So that's how it is. When you go to the browser, you will see something called open browser. See here, open browser activity, just drag and drop that here, and it will ask you for the URL that has to be opened. That simple it is, right? That simple it is. So that's how your activities will help you to design your automation. And every activity that we drag and drop onto the panel where we generally do the automation, right? So we will have lot many properties associated with that activity. You see here, open browser, and here on the input you can say browser type. So onto which browser you would like to open this particular URL, that is what it's asking here. So by default it will get open in Internet Explorer, so you can change that to any other browsers like IE, for Firefox, Chrome, Edge. So I'll just click the Chrome. So I am asking UiPath to open the application, all the URL in Chrome. It is simple a configuration, so we need not to write any code, guys. Drag and drop your activities and do the configuration, required configuration here. And the URL, I'll just expand this. Okay, and which URL? So I'll show you. So we'll have a small page like job application form, which we will fill using automation. Okay, so this particular form, we have name, gender, email, phone number. We have to fill in this requirement, these fields, and click on that submit button. So this is what we'll just achieve. Okay, I'll just copy this entire URL and paste it here as a string. Simple. So we are not doing anything. We are just dragging and dropping, and we are just configuring it as per our needs. Right? Perfect. So now what is our requirement? As I said, so this is job application form. So this is how we have to fill. Suppose this is my name. Okay. So I'll just select the gender, and I'll just go back. So go down and give some email, right? get@gmail.com and some phone number, right? So this is how I have to fill in the information and click on submit. So your response is recorded. So this is the manual work. Okay, one time I have done it, no problem, I can do it if it is one time. But what if you have 100 applicants, if you have 100 applicant information in these kind of where it is, let me just go in these kind of Excel sheets if you have, right? So here I have suppose 4 applicants, right? So these are the 4 applicants, and this information has to go and fill in that particular job applicant form. So these are just 4, we might have 400 as well. So then it is a repetitive task, repetitive manual task. So then how I can automate, how I can read the information from this Excel and put that on my web portal and submit my responses is what we'll quickly go and do that. Okay, so let me go. So as the first thing, you have to open this particular web application with this URL, right? So this is the web application. So that is what I'm gonna open here. So this is what it is, right? So this is what the application is. So when I just copy and paste it here on my new browser, it should open this particular job application form, right? So I'm given that, so I have configured it to open into the Chrome browser. So then what I have to do, I have to take my input from this Excel. I have to take this complete information from this Excel, and then I have to copy that on my web application. So let me just do that. How to read the data? from Excel. So you have something called under file, you have workbook, and under workbook, you have something called read range. So read range activity is used to read the data from a particular Excel. I'll just go and browse for that particular file. So we do have few more options also to read the Excel application data. So, but this is the easiest way. Read range. So I'm supplying the file name, that is job applicants, which is in this folder 3103-2021. So this is what the folder. I'm just giving the folder path. And when you open this, so I have sheet 1, right? So I have sheet 1. So that is what it is asking. Which sheet? Is it sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, whatever it is. And read range. Okay. So you just want to read from A1 to A2? No, I would like to read the entire Excel sheet. I don't know what the range is. I would like to read the entire data. So I'll just remove it. If it is blank, it will read your entire Excel sheet. Done. Then the data that is read with this activity will be stored in a special variable called data table. So I'll just give job applicants. So I'm storing my information in my variable, which is of type data table. Done. My data is in this data table. So I have multiple data table and multiple data here, multiple employees or job applicants here. To fetch individual data, so this variable has the multiple data, right? So these many employees data you have, so then it is called as a collection. If you have more than one data in a variable, it is called as a collection. And to retrieve an individual data from a collection type variable, we have something called loops. That is, we have to use for each loop to take individual data. And as we are using a data table as an output variable, so we have something called for each row in the data table. I'll just use this loop and I'll give my data table name that I have created, applicant data or what. Let me just go here and check the variables. Okay, job applicants. I'll just go here and give that variable name. Perfect. So this is the job applicant. From the job applicant variable, get each and every row. Once the row is retrieved, okay, that is Ankit mail, ankit@gmail.com, this number, if this entire row is fetched by your UiPath, what you would like to do? I would like to enter that data here, right? So entering means typing something to it, right? So this is the text field and I would like to type something onto it. So to type something onto your UI, you have an activity called type into TYPE. Just type, search with TYPE. So then you'll have a type into activity. So just drag and drop this type into activity and indicate an element on the screen where you would like to type. Just click on this and go to your target and just click on it. Go to your target and click on it. All right. So this is how it is, right? I'll just refresh it one more time. What you have to do, you have to drag and drop. I'll just let me delete this. You have to drag and drop type into activity, indicate the element inside the browser, go to the target, and your target will be highlighted like this in a rectangular shape with some colors. Just click on that target, right? So now your target is captured. What you would like to write there? You would like to write the data that you have retrieved from this file, right? So now your information is being retrieved from this variable in the current row. So this is the current row. So current row, the first row will have this entire data. Okay, this current row object will have all this data, but what you need from that? So I just need, so I'll just say current row of what I need, name, right? So this is the name column, right? So from this entire row, current row, I just need name and I'll just convert that to toString. Done. I'm writing my name there. Perfect. So then after, what I have to do? I have to do a gender. I have to select the gender, right? So depending on my input, I have to select whether gender is male or female. So this is the decision making. So this is where the decision making capabilities come. So I'll use, so decision means we have to use if condition. So what I'll do, I'll just go and type there the if. So this is the if statement, drag and drop, and I'll say the current row, if the current row gender, right? If the gender dot equals, if it is equal to male, for an example, right? If it is male, then what I'll do, I have to click on this male radio button, or else I have to click on this female radio button. As simple as that. So what I'm doing here, if the current gender value which is coming for this entire row, if it is male, so what I'll do, I have to click, right? So then I'll use the click operation, click activity, just drag and drop the click activity, and again indicate element on the screen, go there and indicate male radio button. So if it is a male, then it is, or else, that is show else. In the else, again I'll drag and drop the click activity, so this time I'll indicate on female. Simple, that is done, right? So then what else I have, I have email and phone number, so where I have to type in again. So what I'll do, immediately I'll go and use the type into activity. So this is the type into activity, so I need to type into activities, right? So I'll indicate on the screen. First is the email. Perfect, here is where I have to write the email. So then again the phone number, so this is my phone number. So what I have to write here, so current row of what we have there, email, email. So this header should be matching to what we have in the Excel, so toString. So then finally I have something called phone number, so I'll say current row of phone number. Let me copy that from here, dot toString, and finally I have to click on the submit button, right? I have to click on the submit button. Again, it is a click activity is what I'll use. I'll just use this click activity and indicate on the screen. So which screen? This screen. Just click on submit. Perfect. So once you submit it, okay, so what I'll do, I'll manually submit one, that is Ankit again. So mail gmail.com, I'll give some mobile number here and I'll submit on it. So once the response is submitted, right? So again you have to click on this submit another response to enter the another email, another information of the applicant. So what I'll do, I have to click on this submit another response again. So again I'll go to the UiPath, click on it, right? So I'll just go and again indicate element on the screen. So this is what it is. Perfect, right? Perfect. So my automation is done. So let us go and execute it. So let me close this application, okay, and let me close this browser as well. So I'm just closing this job applicants. So I have nothing open. So what our automation has to do, it has to open that job application form and read the data from the Excel, and it has to enter the data on this job application form. So how to run it, as I said, so from this ribbon you have debug file, and under this you have something called run file. Just run this. All right, see, browser has opened with that URL and it is writing Ankit, mail, Gmail, number, click on submit, boom, another response. Next Ritika, female, Gmail address, mobile number, submit, boom. And next Aryan, mail, mail ID, phone number, submit, done. Another response, Arav, mail, Gmail ID, mobile number, submit, done. We had 4 employees, 4 applicants, and 4 applicants data has been entered by your UiPath, reading from the Excel to your applicant form on the website. So thank you everyone, have a great day, bye bye.